We going live. Looks like we are connected. I'll wait for video to come through. We got video coming through. Awesome. So we got some live actions happening. If you have any issues with the audio, with hearing me in any manner, please let me know as we're getting ready to dive in. Okay, so in this specific section, what I'm going to be doing is establishing our directory piece. Now, why the frig would I put on a directory? Let me push on record. Why would I put on a directory? Why would I add a directory to a system that promotes software, that promotes services? Why would I add a directory? We have to think about that for a second. Do you have the answer? Well, in this specific section, we're going to be diving into exactly why it makes sense to add a directory and why you should probably do the same if you're building out the system. Now, if you're not building out your system, I placed a link for the YouTube as well. If you want to join it, listen to some music, you can. But why the frig would you build out a directory system? Why does it make sense? Oh my gosh, does it serve my customers? Oh my gosh, there's so many oh my goshes. Well, here's the thing. Let's cut through the chatter and the garbage. You have to build SEO. And if you're not familiar with what, why, right? Take a look at Facebook. Facebook is a big, large SEO platform. It drives engagement and drives influence, which then create pages, and those pages, again, magnify and they grow. So how do you become relevant? So let's say, again, you're building with Go High Level, building with Lead Connector, you're building with anything, any and all of those things. Well, you have to be relevant if you're going to serve businesses, because there's a few people that you can serve. You can serve consumers, you can serve business, and you can serve government, right? You can serve those. So you have to create the portfolios and whatnot as part of that perception hack. You have to create one. So this way, if you're presenting to somebody big, let's just say somebody big comes through the door and they're like, what have you done in the past? I have 100,000 users and blah, 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 right? They push that perception. You can simply say, well, I have 500,000 profiles and 500,000 profiles are in our system. And then when their analysis goes and backdates that or back references that, they surely see you have that. Now that's one of the sides. The other side is SEO value. With the SEO value that is generated within here, it helps you. Not only it helps you, I mean, like I said, we had 70,000 pages, 80,000 pages actually. Let's see where it's going. Google Search Console, pull that up too. But the idea is, how do we have as many pages as we possibly can have? Okay, and if we have those specific pages, then how do we grow with those pages? And why would we do it? So our whole system is designed based on affiliates. It's designed based on people coming into our platform, people engaging, but most cases it's affiliates that make money. We want people to make money, is what we want, okay? We want a lot of people to make money. So we have to build a strong foundation for those people to actually get some money, right? We have to do that. So that's what we're going to be doing. So that being said, ready? Let's dive in. Okay. So let me pop it up really quick. So this way you can see, what we're even talking about. So let's dive into the dashboard really quick. If you don't have an account, just create one. It's free. Gosh, create one. Okay. There's a link in the chat. Well, on YouTube, there's a link in the chat. If you don't have that link, jump into our YouTube. You can see it. If you still don't have that link and you're like, I need that link, here, I'll just give you my personal profile. Okay. So this way you can even connect with me and jump into a video with me if you want. All of it's done right within here. And look how easy it is for me. I can grab this guy. Let's say I'm sharing you my business card. I just grab that guy and guess what I do? I just share it. Let me grab it really quick. Oops. I just grab this, copy, and I share it. And guess what happens? If you ever create an account, you're connected to me. Great. You're in my CRM. You're in my database. Cool. This is my now business card. Now people connect with my profile. They're connected to my accounts. Similar to Facebook, the only big difference is now I can do something with it. Yay. Okay. So that being said, again, quick summary. What is gFunnel? gFunnel is an all-in-one exclusive platform for entrepreneurs looking to grow. We have any and all of the tools that you will ever need right? Because Lead Connector does not rule the world. Sorry, it does not. But you might as well have it as an add-on. It's a very good add-on software, as well as any of these softwares, right? Notion's very good. Reach Inbox is very good. Any of these softwares are softwares that I use on a daily basis. Now, your company could be different, meaning you can have specific users or specific software that accesses on a specific company. This right here we have is called a software snapshot. Software snapshot's basically like you have a line of software that are used to run an operation, and then you can access these guys, okay? The thing that we're going to be working on a little bit today is the look and the feel and the functionality of our directory. Now, we've tested it, we've tested the flow of it, we've tested the listings of it. This is in a sense what we have. We'll expand it a little bit, but there's a few different things. So first thing that we have is we have a little profile over here. Okay, we have it where the phone numbers will come in, right? We have it where the emails, so if we can email those businesses, we have it so it's a quick access to be able to contact them, okay? Next thing we have it, okay, and I might even make a third column here. I have it right here, website, because most people will either call or they'll direct message. If they want to visit the websites, they visit the websites. But I made it pretty simple, and if you notice, this is quote-unquote a competitor. It's Splash Media. My gosh. Cam, don't you do digital services? Why are you putting Splash Media on here, right? It's part of the directory. Because if we can outrank Splash Media, guess what happens? We become on top. We're now that directory. So why is it important to have a directory? This is why. So if I go to google.com, let me go to google.com, and I type in restaurants near me. Let's just say restaurants near me. What's going to end up happening is this. You're going to have listings here, and then you're going to have a directory here. Next thing you're going to have is a directory here. Next thing you're going to have is a directory here. Next thing that you're going to have is a directory here. Next thing you're going to have is a directory here. A directory. A directory. Oh my gosh. First page is all directories. Another, again, this is in a sense a directory. And if you're like, that's not a directory, Cam. Let's just jump in really quick. It is 100% a directory. 100% it's a directory. So now we know that, well, for some weird reason, people do directories to rank. So why don't we do the same thing? Why reinvent the wheel? Okay, so that being said, this now becomes a directory, okay? Now we need specific information on this. So we're going to go and get that specific information. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to, again, open up my platform. So I'm going to go home. I'm going to go to my apps, okay? I'm going to pop up one of the apps right here. And then what I'm going to do here, pretty simple. Oops. There's a few things that I can run on here, okay? But let's just say I need information. I need data. What is my password? Let's see. There it is. Let's just say I need data. Okay, so I'm going to click on here. Let me just double check. This is the right one. This is not the right one. So let's jump back. Let's go into listings, listing bot setup. Here we go. And let me just check if this is the right one. Because if I'm coming in here, opening a link, nope, this is to get it listed in our big system. So I need to add business listing. There we go. That seems about right. Okay, so I'm going to have it visit a specific website. So it comes here, opens a specific website, create listing, exactly what I want. Okay, and then I'm going to just check the history. Check the history of this bad boy. Make sure we have it. But basically what this is doing is coming through our system. It's adding all of the information that is needed and getting it submitted. I just want to make sure that it is correct. Cool. Let's just say it's correct. Okay. So next thing I need to do, so I'm going to pop this thing up. I'm going to jump into my diagrams because that's what I'm going to use to build it. I'm going to then search, again, recent, and I'll probably go into open from Google Drive. From this opening, I'm just going to go listings. Let's see if that'll pop up for me. Listings module, here we go. Okay. Now this is the exact process that we're focusing on. So we have raw data that's coming in. We bring it into our Lead Connector database. Our Lead Connector database then expands with our course, content, our modules, our XYZ. It expands that because, again, we want to market on multiple different cases, multiple different areas. It expands that. We want it to clean the data, and then we want it to plug in. So this is an example of one. Let's see if I have a different example of one. Let's see, listings. Directory listings, listing module. Okay, that's fine. That one didn't work, so let's just jump right here. So I'm gonna go, let me pull up my Google Drive really quick. Drive. Alrighty, and then I'm gonna jump into here and see which table we're using here. Okay, so here we go. So we have raw data that has been scraped, right? We can see timestamps based off of this information. There's timestamps here. So timestamps are good to have, okay? Do we have description so much? No, but let's take a look. We have listings. So we have quite a few listings. This is Texas specific, so I'm gonna fill up Texas specific, but we have about 73,000 listings, okay? So 73,000 listings. So now what is that going to do? So what we want it to do is we want these 73,000, and this is just in one area. We want 73,000 listings to run through a specific process and add themselves in within our system. Okay, so that way if I jump right in here, okay, we'll go into our listings. We're gonna have 73,000 of these guys here, okay? And they're gonna be organized. So if I jump in right here, I could jump into, let me just jump into business listings really quick. So if you notice, this is now in a directory. We can come in and we can create this, optimize this, whatever. But if you notice, we only probably have like 200, maybe 250 or something like that listings within here. We're gonna be adding 76,000 listings, and we wanna make sure that it has a few things. So we wanna make sure, again, it has a map, right? So if you notice, there's a map here. We're going to notice that it has specific addresses, that it has its specific rating. We're going to grab that information, pull it in. It has a map ID. It has workable hours. It has categories, right? So we can say it's a this restaurant, it's a this restaurant, it's a this restaurant, seafood restaurant, right? Each one has its own categories, which is great. It has its own longitude and latitude, which is great. Now we ask ourselves, well, what is missing of this stuff, right? What is missing? 100% that Mexican. Okay, so they have some cool stuff, right? But what is missing of this guy? So we're gonna add some of these unique information in here. But the big thing that's missing is, well, it's a description. That's one of the big things that are missing. So since that is missing, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to improvise. We're gonna have to make sure that this listing, if you take a look, there's a listing in here, right? So it says lead conversion listing description template. Description, that looks bad. A top rated XYZ posting that. So we're gonna just adjust this a little bit because this was lead focused, right? So we're gonna adjust this description just a little bit, okay? So to be lead focused and not, and then we're gonna adjust a few things within here because what we want is, again, we want to be able to hit the SEO part, right? So meaning get this big thing listed, make this thing look beautiful so people are coming in, so it's driving traffic. And then we want people to come in here and say claim listing, right? And when they claim listing, we want to make sure that they're claiming it, but they're also creating their account for us. So we're getting account creation, we're getting listing verification, and we're getting people to come in. And we are going to push this into a marketing campaign to drive some traffic, okay? Let me get this really quick. I drink something called Clean. Let's see if I can show it on the, wait, it's on this camera. I drink something called Clean. One of the biggest reasons I drink it, so of course you get caffeine buzz, right? You get caffeine, you get everything else, but 50% of net profits go to addiction recovery. And one of my audiences are those type of people. Like, my audience is those people that are kind of recovering, those people that are trying to growing, those people, because they need quite a bit of help, so I don't mind helping them out. So It's my excuse. So, that being said, let's dive in. Let's create this. Okay, so let's just make sure that we have a description here. So I'm going to pop up really quick. So the tools I'm going to use, I'm going to do, so let's say I have this GPT up. Okay, and we're going to come into here, and I'm just going to search really quick. So I'm going to search because I've already done a listing here, and I'll just say, now if we have this information here, right, I'm going to put this information in. Let's see. And I'm going to say, can you help me with a dynamic SEO rich description for a business? This is the information that I have. And I'm just going to grab the information that I have in here. So I'll grab this guy. I'll come in, I'll copy this, and I'll copy this. I'll copy, right? And if you notice, there's the added mark. Okay, I'll just redo that. Okay, added mark, and I'll just come right here. I'll put this information in. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I have to organize it in such a manner, organize it in such a way, okay? Now again, since our platform is a lead-based platform, meaning I want these guys as like, these are all the local businesses, so this way we give our users enough information to be able to seek these guys, to be able to find these guys, and to be able to, again, so you have a double mix. One mix is if a customer's looking for that business, they can call in, they can access that business. That's one mix. The next mix is if somebody's looking for leads. So let's say I'm an entrepreneur. I'll give you like a story. Let's say I'm an entrepreneur. I just started, right? I now have all of the tools and resources and everything to succeed, but I need leads. And I don't have money right now to pay for advertisement, right? Even though advertisement I know is the very best. Let's say I'm in that standpoint. Now, what steps do I take? What's my next stage? What's my next process to be able to start that revenue cycle, to start that engine, and to start building up success, right? So this would be the journey. The journey would be first somebody would create their free account. We give them access to specific softwares that help them generate money. The next thing is somebody would request certain details, right? Like I need certain restaurant information, I need certain this, I need certain that. From there, what we would do is we would then organize the information accordingly within here. So that way now I'm a person, I can come here and I can say, I'm gonna claim this restaurant. I'm a person, I can come in here and I can say, I'm a customer of this restaurant. And then if you're the business and you're like, oh, I need to create an account, then you create an account with that specific business in mind. So that way it's a little bit of a mixture of all things, right? Now, why would we do that? Again, SEO rich. And our goal is to not affect people. Our goal is to help people serve. And this way, if somebody says, you know what, I'm going to post a business. I have a local business in the area. They need help, right? They could then post that this is a specific business and they need help with XYZ. And now you have a business that needs help with XYZ, right? Again, why do that? It's because if somebody like is better at sales or whatnot, they can go and sell that specific business, and now there could be a rev share based on that. Does that make sense? So there's quite a few things that could happen, but think of this as, hey, it's a big lead platform, right? We'll get entrepreneurs coming in because what's our focus? Our focus is to serve businesses, right? Our focus is to give entrepreneurs the tools and resources they need to create and build. And then our focus is to get those people in and build custom solutions in the back end for them. Okay, so this in a sense works perfect on that side. Okay, so let me jump back and let's just see. Here we go. Oh, it's still going. Discover this. call today, add this. Okay, so this one's good. Now I want it to be a little bit better. So let's see if I can adjust this. Okay, let's say that this is a lead for one of our members. What is a good description to explain this lead? Now I can do that again. So it's like a, I'll step back. The thing that's building on this directory is like a lead-based directory system. That's what we're building, lead-based directory system. So traffic can come in, of course, right? Traffic can come in and visit that place, of course. There's already a lot of directories that are doing that. But what the big goal is, right? The big goal of this is to give this specific lead to our members. And then once our members have this lead, they can use it and sell it. And we can then grab this information and automatically add it into their own CRM based on them claiming it. Does that make sense? So each and every person can then claim a lead, work on that lead, and it can be unclaimed. Claim a lead, work on that lead, and it can be unclaimed. And then technically we can go after every business there is, and we have a clear list of every business there is, as well as anytime somebody requests, we provide that information. Hopefully that makes sense. That's what it is. That's what we're doing. Okay, so jumping back, let's get it working. Okay, so there are a few things here. So what I want to do is I actually want to come through this process, just make sure that we have everything, right? Because we have established date. We have, and I'm just going to check what we have here that will pop up. Information on this. I'm going to remove one of these pages so you can see the rawness of it. Okay, so this is in a sense a design, right? Like this would be filled with information with a pictures of the inside. This is just an example, and then let me just pull back the curtain for a little bit. I'm going to remove some code. Okay, I just removed some code. Now this is what it looks like with that code removed. Boom. Okay, a little bit different, but we have this information that is appearing. I might add in more information for people. So now let me add that code back. Go to the back end, turn this code on. Okay, cool. And then let me make it so it's looking right. Okay. Cool, let me jump into my profile real quick. And I will add this. And if you're wondering, like, gosh, Cam, this is complex, I don't even understand. Think of it as you could gain like a listing of leads. And let's just say those listings of leads could appear just like this. Right? Now what? Right? Now what could we offer these specific people? Imagine that. Imagine you have the information, you know when to talk with them. You know their ranking, their rating, right? And imagine you have this as a system that can help you. Now what do? Well, now you can use this information to grow, okay? So, but I just want to make sure that I have this purpose done correctly. Let's see, seller, contact, and profile. Let me adjust the code on that part. And if you're like, how do you adjust the code? This is how I adjust the code. Pull up the module, and this is the code. This is the module that's within there. Not that you would ever see this if you have a platform, but I'm just showing you the raw backend, okay? So let's do this. So I need to get this guy adjusted. Let's get that guy adjusted. Website, HTML. Let me just check. Perfect, that's working correctly. These are working correctly as our directory, so that way people can search in the areas. We have our close dates and times here, which is perfect. Let me just check. Business hours are added in. Alrighty, dynamic links are in. Perfect. just reading through the code to ensure that I have accuracy everywhere. I want to get that removed. Contact and profile. I'm just going to call this one probably business info. So when I record this piece, I now have business info. Cool. Okay, now we have rankings here and ratings. So I might recreate this directory. So right now we have it as, again, view listings, right? So this would now be a listing. The other one I might do is view leads, just copy the same module and just have this, again, one as a directory of all the businesses, one as a directory of all the leads with different contact and different information. That way we can compound and double our information here. Okay, cool. Now let's jump back to this part. Create listing. Okay, so again, how this module works is anytime that we have a listing that is created, when the listing is created, it does create a compound effect in the backend. Okay. But let me just check. Open hours, click. Do I need that? I don't need that, so I'm going to leave that part. Contact information, that and website, great. Social information, which is good as well for internal and external links. Cool, and then we have the ability to do it as private. Subcategories, I might adjust the subcategories. Alrighty. And then I might just do the description code here. That way each page is a little bit different. And then what this does is generates a page with unique information on there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so now let's jump back over here. Okay, so I'm just gonna do them like a side by side so we can see it. So we have the process starts. The first thing it does is it opens this specific link. So this specific link would be open just like this. Okay, now for anyone who's manually doing
Introducing gFunnel listing.
There's a person that is speaking, right? But on a robot that's doing it, it won't see those. So it'll come there, it's gonna link. Now, can I do this in API? I can, but I actually like it manually. So that way we don't trigger a internal piece. I like systems coming in and stress testing on the outside, because that means that we can handle thousands of users doing the exact same thing. Okay, let's do this. So we have it visited here. Next thing we're gonna do, this is category. Cool. Alrighty, then we have our title coming in. Then we have our description coming in. So this is what we had: lead, description, template. I'm just going to delete that because it doesn't make sense. Unlock a prime opportunity with this name, a top-rated XYZ boasting at that part. Located at that. With a sales process link here. Okay. Now let me just double check that sales process link. Here we go. Cool. And then I'll probably even do a button here. And I'll just say add to say quick add. Quick add. Quick add to CRM. So I'm going to do a button in a sense, and that button's going to be like a quick add to the CRM. Again, I might do this as HTML. Let me try it really quick. Can you help me convert this into HTML? Question mark. Actually, won't add the quick one. I'll have them do the button, claim this, so that way they can claim it. That way I'm not doing internal competition necessarily. I guess I could. Yeah. Let me just check. Okay. I think that's fine. I don't think I need to overcomplex it. Okay, so here we go. So that's the description coming in. It'll post that, which is perfect. From there, it'll put in a date of establishment. It'll allow messaging. It'll put in their phone number. It'll put in their website. It'll put in their state. I assume their city. This. Okay, cool. So this looks to be great. The next thing that I'll do, so first I want to make sure that this is running. Preferably in, I'm going to turn on another monitor so that way I can ensure that it's running the back end correctly. Here we go, checking status. Let's go into run incognito. It's using my cookies. Okay, and then I would make sure, let me do that right now. So I'm gonna pull up another link. Here we go. I'm gonna grab this guy right over here. I'm gonna add it in over here. And then basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run it. And this is now leads. These are now leads that are generated within our platform. And I'm gonna be running it for a long time. Let's shoot this. And I will check it for errors. But let me just double check. So we have this category is instant without a delay. Description is instant without a delay. Established time is instant without a delay. That part is saved. Phone number is instant without a delay. Website instant without a delay. Street address instant without a delay. And again, I'm just doing it on another screen for you. Then we're gonna have our website under ready to go. Okay, good. sets, it's added. It's added. There might be an error in here, so we're gonna find where that error is, capture that error. Alrighty, looks good. So let's run it incognito. I'm going to do it in the browser window, check for connectivity. Agent is offline. Let me turn on the agent really quick. And then let's see how many of these we can pump out. Okay, agent's online. Checking status, action required, relaunch. Cool. Let me grab this link again. And basically, the robot will run absolutely everything. So when this is on, again, it's going to build out a complete profile. So it's going to build out a complete profile on here. This is in a sense what the profile would look like, but better. These are tests, and these are bad tests, if that makes sense. But this is in a sense what the profile will end up looking like with all of the business information here. It'll be as a lead. Now our members can come here and claim this lead as their own if they want, and then this lead will be automatically added into their CRM. We're doing it based off of this list. So this is a list that was scraped. If you're wondering how we scraped it, there's a few tools that we use. One of those tools is something called, I'll just kind of show you, Browser AI or Browse AI. Usually we can come into here, we can open up a studio, we can click through what we want it to monitor and extract. We can build out custom processing. It'll grab the information that we need, process the data that we need, organize it in a specific way. Again, we build out all of these processes, of course, but as a result, we end up getting something like this, okay, where it pulls out all of the information. And now again, as a directory, this information becomes valuable because we're going to be adding this information in to our directory listing. We're going to be doing it in quote unquote a manual way, even though it's automated, a manual way, utilizing what this is an RPA or robotic process automation. And now it's going to be listing. What our goal is to get, well, there's 76,000 listings, 76,000 listings with all unique content in there, which gives us 76,000 pages of unique content. We'll edit a few different things to ensure that AI is optimized. So this way these browsers take this AI. But yeah, there you go. And then what it's going to do, the SEO is designed to attract these people as leads. So if somebody's looking for like restaurant leads or this leads or this leads, the idea is now to get on that target. Not just people saying restaurant near me, because they're not intending, they're not an entrepreneur that is intending to sell. They're not that. And we don't want them, like, if that makes sense. We don't, our goal is not to get those type of people. Our goal is to attract the SEO of the other type of people. Other than that, we will build another module, and the other module will have like our quote unquote our directory piece. But for this one, this is just a leads directory, if that makes sense. So let me just make sure we have it, and then let me execute it. Let me just see. I'll do one test. Actually, let me stop that test because it's playing on that part. So I'm just going to save that guy. Now let's start it. It was starting from like 500. So let's do it now. It's not going to work. So I have to be logged in. Let me log in really quick. I'll log in. You can't see me, but I'm logging in. And then I'm connecting it to gFunnel, so that way it's tying gFunnel, the name of gFunnel, back to that system. Perfect. Now let's try it again. So while it's trying it on another one, I'm gonna wait until it's done here. Let's just make sure it's working. Where's the error? Category. We've updated our category. Let me just do that so it's not instant. And again, sometimes you just have to go back and forth, and if you're wondering, well, what the heck does it mean here? I'll show you. Windows capture. Let me jump into our Chrome. Here, let me try to get this back on screen. Sorry, it's a different screen. There we go. There we go. So basically it's running in and it's doing its thing. Right? It's trying to upload. If it doesn't have an image, then it goes to the next side. So and so on and so forth. So if I jump back here, I just look at what's happened, right? And I just look at, does this guy have an image? So number one, does it actually have an image? And if I jump in, I just look for it having a main image or not. And it looks like it does, so I'll just double check if it actually did that. If the bot said, nope, we skipped past the image, then I'll just, yeah. Because I want it to have those images. So I'm gonna just stop it really quick. So we've done a few of them, okay? So we did a few of them as a test. So I would jump back here and I would go to the latest ones, right? So these should be the latest ones. It looks like they were maybe not submitted. Let me just check. Submitting them under this profile. Listing. Huh. I'll go through and I'll test it, but that's in a sense what we're working on. And then the goal will be to get this completely done. So if I refresh this, so the whole goal is to get this guy, see how it says added, it's working. I just go back through making sure every little detail is critiqued and perfect. And then if it's critiqued and perfect, then sure enough, we'll have 76,000 new listings on here. That will help strengthen the platform. Then if you need more leads, you let us know and we can do a request of leads. But each and every one of these listings should also spark our automations in the back end to start with the listing manager as well. So quite a few automations going on here. You're not seeing everything, but there are quite a few automations going on here. Again, we have raw data coming in. It's jumping into a lead connector database. It's cleaning the data. Once there, it's going into its own marketing channels. Once there, it's going into our 300 plus directory listings, right? So it's kind of all working here. It's one's going into the marketing, one side's going into our listings module, which is what you're looking at now. It's running that process, data processing, and then it's also in the back end, it's adding to 300 different directories, and then it's going on our site map. So if I'm in here, right, and I go into location map, it's also going to be building on our location maps. So that way when you're coming in, based on the area, we'll have an area saturated. So like, let's say this is a sales rep right here, right? This is a sales rep within a specific niche. Then what we can do is we can isolate the specific leads within that specific area. Now this person can say, oh, what's this? This is by me. They can pop it up and say, it's Chipotle Mexican Grill. Let's pop this thing up. And then they'll have a specific profile with a specific business information, specific business email. They can come here and say claim, right? Since I posted it, won't say claim, but it'll say claim. That will be automatically added into their CRM and they can go from there. So that being said, that's a quick live. Again, hopefully it wasn't too like back and forth, but that's what I'm working on. So that way you can kind of see exactly how this thing actually works. So that being said, my name is Cameron Garlick. If you have any questions, if you want to see something crazy, again, this is crazy. If you're like, I don't know how to use this thing, that's okay, but I can come and show you. Other than that, jumping back to here, welcome to the few other people that jumped on in. So again, we get a bunch of users that are coming in constantly. Feel free to come in, feel free to create an account. We're opening up some onboarding processes for group orientation and whatnot. So come in, be a part of the community, be a part of our network, be a part of what we're doing, and then we'll do what we can to ensure your success. So that being said, my name is Cameron Garlick, and if you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out. Thanks so much. We'll see you.